Hey. Hey. I know it has been forever. Y'all. Y'all. So we okay, so let me just take a moment to just digest everything real quick. I don't know if I want to cry or if I just want to I don't know what I want to do. But y'all, I don't know when the last time I talked to y'all was. I know the last time I talked to y'all I was on. It has taken me so, first of all, I just want to say it has taken me so long to finish this book. I don't know what it is about this book. I know what it is. It's just me being inconsistent and it's fear. So because it's fear, I have to push through it and finish this book, because one of the lessons that I've learned this year is to keep pushing through despite feelings of fear. AKA feel the fear when you fly, AKA thank you Cleo Soul, because she ate with that song. But the last time I talked to you guys, I think I was on chapter 4, 5, and 6, or 5, 6, 7. I think 5, 6, 7. And I recently just finished chapter 8, and I'm currently on chapter 9, which means I have 4 chapters left. Which means I only have 4 weeks left to finish The Artist's Way. So I just thought that I would share with you guys some of the things that I learned during week 8. And I know a lot of you are probably wondering, why didn't she just stop and start from the beginning? I feel like that would be destroying the purpose of the book. A lot of what this book has taught me is to push through even when there is imperfection. Art isn't perfect. Art shouldn't be perfect. That is the whole purpose of art, finding the beauty in imperfection. And I feel like me starting this book over would be trying to be perfect when perfect doesn't exist. So why not just finish where I left off? Why not just finish where I left off? The things that this book has taught me did not leave my brain. They still... That was my mom. She's talking about some Glockhead. I love her. She's literally my twin. But, okay. Well, I'm her twin. But, yeah. I forget what I was saying. Oh, yeah. The things that I've learned from the first couple of chapters of this book, they didn't go any fucking where. They're still up here in this brain, this medulla. They still living rent-free. Which is why I've been able to accomplish all the things that I've accomplished. Julia, I love you. I love you so much. I'm definitely, after I finish this book, I'm definitely going to read it again. But I think I don't want to read it until Damn. Okay, so I promised this girl at my school that I was going to let her have this book after graduation. And I feel like I should, just because she reminds me a lot of me before I started this book. And she's so young too, and she has so much potential to be an amazing fucking artist. Literally, she's already amazing, but there's just this block that doesn't allow her to be as free as this book has taught me to be when it comes to the creative process and expressing my creativity and stuff like that. And so I was like, you know what? And she came up to me one day and she was like, we were in class, and she was like, I love your work. Every time I see your work, I've never seen it on anybody else. Every style you've ever done, I've never seen it before. And I was like, wow, like, that's because I really just be going with the flow. Like, I really just be doing shit. And she was like, it's hard for me to do that. And I was like, Julia, here's your next client. Julia. And so I feel like, yeah, definitely I'm going to give her this book. So that means I have to read. If I'm going to read this book, I have to read it again. Or I could just buy. Oh, you know what I should do? I should keep this fucked up ass book. It's not fucked up. Love her down. She is ripped up though. But I should keep this book, tape it up for me, for myself, and then buy her another book and a notebook as well. I think that's what I'm going to do. I think for all of my friends at the end of the school year, I'm going to give them something that I feel like would be very useful for their life out of school. And so I'm going to buy her a book. I'm going to buy her The Artist Way, and then I'm going to buy her a cute journal as well. Yeah, period. She don't even know what's coming with it. She don't even know what's coming. Yes, y'all, but like I was saying, I finished chapter 8, and I'm going to share with you guys some of the things that I learned in chapter 8. So, chapter 8 was recovering a sense of strength. And you know what? I'm so happy that I started reading the book again when I started reading it, because the moment that I picked up this book and read this, I literally was like, yeah, like I needed that. And like, I really needed that. I was going through a very stressful time, and I was feeling very weak-minded. And the fact that I picked up the book and the chapter was, I was on this chapter, it was crazy as fuck. But in this chapter, Julia talks about survival, the ivory power, gain disguised as losses, gain disguised as loss, age and time, product and process. Okay, so I am just going to read a bunch of things that I highlighted so that I could have a better understanding of what I learned. Because honestly, when I read chapter 8, it was probably a month ago. So yeah. Okay. So okay, so in the first chapter, survival, she talks about facing loss when you're an artist. And she refers to artistic losses as miscarriages. Okay, so in this chapter, she just talks about like how artistic losses can be turned into artistic gains and strengths, but not in the isolation of the beleaguered artist's brain. She said, as mental health experts are quick to point out, in order to move through loss and beyond, we must acknowledge it and share it, because artistic losses are seldom openly acknowledged or mourned. They become artistic scar tissues that block artistic growth, deemed too painful, too silly, too humiliating to share, and so to heal. They become instead secret losses. If artistic creations are our brain children, artistic creations are our miscarriages. Women often suffer terribly and privately from losing a child who doesn't come to term. And as artists, we suffer terrible losses when the book doesn't sell, the film doesn't get picked, the jury show doesn't take our paintings, the best pot shatters, the poems are not accepted, the ankle injury sidelines us for an entire dance season. We must remember that our artist is a child, and that what we can handle intellectually far outstrips what we can handle emotionally. We must be alert to flag and mourn our losses. The disappointing reception of a good piece of work, the inability to move across into a different medium or type of role due to other people's expectations of us, are artistic losses that must be mourned. It does no good to say, oh, it happened to everybody, or who was I kidding anyway? The unmourned disappointment becomes the barrier that separates us from future dreams. Not being cast in the role that's yours, not being asked to join the company, having the show canceled, or the play unreviewed. These are all losses. Okay, so when I read this, I think about my current situation, which is my inability to do hair until I graduate. So for those of you who don't know, I am an aspiring high fashion runway hairstylist. Right now, I just refer to myself as a creative braider because that's what I do. I provide creative braiding services. I was providing them at my home or at my grandmom's house, but now I just do them at school. And so for a long time, I would say, like, since I started school, I've been braiding out of my grandmother's house and doing all different types of styles there. And my clientele was building up a lot. Like, actually, right before I stopped doing hair, it was starting to grow a lot. But I was dealing with, like, certain things that would prevent me from being able to do the hair like how I would want it to be done, so I had to stop. So my grandma was basically, what I'm trying to say is, my grandmother was uncomfortable with me doing hair in her house, which is totally understandable. Like, I don't live there, and it's very uncomfortable for you to come downstairs and somebody be in the middle of your floor doing hair. Like, it's not a hair salon. And so I saw how frustrated she was. So I had just decided to stop doing hair at her house. And at first I looked at it as a loss, and I was upset and I was frustrated because in my mind, I'm like, wow, I'm going to lose a lot of clientele. Like, people are probably going to forget that I even do hair anymore. And it's going to take me a long time to build that clientele back up. But recently I posted on my Instagram that, like, I do hair at school all the time. So why not just bring my clients to my school and tell them that there are certain styles that I'll be able to do and there are certain styles that I won't be able to do. But in my mind, at least I'll be doing hair, and at least I'll be bringing my clients to me and still like keeping that clientele up. And I feel like for me, that was a loss turned into a gain. Yeah, like, instead of me looking at it in a negative way and dwelling on it, I just figured out a way to turn it into something positive that could benefit me. So I'm really proud of myself for that. Okay. So I also underlined in the ivory power paragraph, she says, Give yourself the dignity of admitting your artistic wounds. This is the first step in healing them. And then I wrote, not sure if this was a wound. What did I write? Not sure if this was a wound, but I worked for Philly Fashion Week, and when I told my grandmom, she wasn't excited both times, and it had led me into an episode. So I told someone that was really close to me on one of my accomplishments, and when I told her, the expression on her face and her response really just, it made me rethink everything. Because I feel like, well, right now I'm at a phase in my life where I'm doing like the stuff that I'm doing mostly because I feel like I was put on this earth to do. I feel like it's one of my soul's purposes to be doing it, so that's why I'm doing it. Like, and some people may look at it as just makeup or just hair, but for me it's way deeper than just that. Like, especially being a dark-skinned girl and from especially being a dark-skinned girl and being from the P's and coming from where I come from, it's very important for me to be an inspiration to the other girls that come from where I come from. Yeah, I just want to let other girls know that it's possible to be more than what you come from. Like, whether that's, no matter what it is you want to do, whether it's being a model, whether it's being a content creator, whether it's being the next Michelle Obama, like, you can literally do anything you want to do in life. That's my purpose for doing what I'm doing. I don't see a lot of people like me doing it big. You know, I see a lot of people like me doing what I'm doing, and you know, they're doing it very well, but I don't see a lot of people doing what I want to do. The dreams and the aspirations that I have in my head, the huge ones, I don't see a lot of people, especially coming from where I come from, doing those things. I don't. A lot of the ones that are doing it, they had handouts, or they had parents who had money, or I didn't have that. I am building this from the ground up, off of my back. You know, I have people who love me and who support me and who give me advice, and I love them, and they are also very helpful. And you know, I'm not doing it alone because I have them. But when it comes to other things, like as far as like resources and stuff like that, like those are all things that like I'm doing by myself. And you don't see a lot of people that look like me, a lot of girlies that look like me doing that. It's not a lot, you know. There are some, but there's not a lot. And so I want to be that example. But yeah, I think before I came to that realization, I still seek validation from my loved ones a little bit. And one of them was my grandma. And it wasn't even really validation, but I guess you could say it was validation. It was just like, I just wanted to make her proud. I still do. I want to make her proud. I want to make my grandma proud, you know. But right now I'm at a point in my life where if I don't, I'm still satisfied because I'm making myself proud. You know, I'm happy. So if nobody else is happy with me doing what I'm doing, it doesn't matter. At least I am. But when I told her and she gave me this weird response, it was kind of shocking to me. And so I brought it up to her, you know, because it was really laying on my heart, and I didn't want to have no resentment or no like animosity towards her. So I brought it up to her, and she said that she was proud of me, and she didn't mean to come across the way that she came across. She just, I guess, like didn't know how to express her excitement, or like, I don't know, like maybe it was like, you know, shocking to her because my grandma was also somebody who didn't have a lot of resources and who didn't come from much. So maybe it was like surprising to her. I don't know, but she said that she was really proud of me and she was sorry that she made me feel like she wasn't. And yeah, another thing I underlined was, and if the present hurts this badly, we tend to view the future as impending pain. I'm not sure why I underlined that. But before that, it says we need to focus on what lies ahead. This can be tricky. We may know what lies ahead, and if the present hurts this badly, we tend to view the future as impending pain. Gain disguised as loss is a potent artist's tool. To require it, simply brutally ask, how can this loss serve me? Where does it point my work? The answers will surprise and liberate you. The trick is to metabolize pain as energy. The key to doing that is to know, to trust, and to act as if a silver lining exists if you are only willing to look at the work differently or to walk through a different door, one that you may have balked at. It says, in order to catch the ball, you have to want to catch the ball. The film director John once told a young director. Hearing this, I took it to mean stop complaining about the lousy curves you get thrown and stretch. Reach for what you really want. I have tried to follow this advice. For years, I played studio roulette. Repeatedly, original scripts were bought and not made. Repeatedly, fine work languished on studio shelves, the victim of resolving. Go pictures. Okay. Okay, so gain disguises loss. Okay, so I guess what I'm getting from this chapter is like, it's in you. It's not on you. Like all the things that you need to succeed are already in you. There is nothing outside of you that is going to get you to where you need to go. AKA don't achieve. Yeah. And then I underlined the key here is action. Pain that is not used profitably quickly solidifies into a leading heart, which makes any action difficult. When faced with a loss, immediately take one small action to support your artist. Period. Yeah. Okay, so I also underlined kids are not self-conscious, and once we are actually in the flow of our creativity, neither are we. And then I wrote on the side, there is no doubt in the flow. Okay, so recently when I've been doing hair, it's been very hard for me to be okay with messing up and be okay with what's happening. Like, I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's like anxiety from being on the floor and everybody watching me, but yeah, it's been hard for me to just flow with my creativity. And I really want to get better at that. Yeah. I think that might be what it is. Okay, so I also underlined, instead of allowing ourselves a creative journey, we focus on the length of the trip. It's such a long way, we tell ourselves. Each day is just one more day with some motion in it, and that motion toward a goal is very enjoyable. And then I also wrote on the side after I underlined that, action and passion above all else. Gag! I was just watching, before I propped up this video, I was just watching one of Doechie's videos on Instagram, and she was talking about Tyler the Creator and how excuse me. She was talking about how Tyler the Creator isn't a really good singer. Like, he's not the best singer, but it's not really the singing that attracts us. It's the passion. she was talking about like his song Earthquake, and how in Earthquake, you make my earthquake. It doesn't really sound, it does sound pleasing to the ear, to us, but it's because he's loving what he's doing. Like, he is really enjoying like his singing. He's really enjoying singing. He's really enjoying putting on a show for us. And so that's why it sounds good. She was talking about how like she wants to start like doing things without it being perfect. Getting rid of the fact that it has to be perfect, because what's more important is the fact that you're passionate about what you're doing, not that it looks perfect. And then I also underline, no creative act is ever finished. You can't learn to act because there's always more to learn, period. I am never done. And I was just watching a documentary, and in the documentary, Pharrell was saying, he was telling someone, I'm not going to bring that person's name up because I feel like it's very controversial, but he was telling someone that very controversial, and I don't know, that person also doesn't align with my morals, and so I would not like to bring them up on my channel. But he was saying to that person to never stop learning. Even when everybody is telling you you're the best, you're the GOAT, you're a god, always think that you can do better and that there is something wrong. Never think that you've reached your limit of creativity, because you haven't, girl. So you basically saying you're a god. You basically saying you're God, because the only person in my eyes that is perfect is him, her, they. The only person, and they have all of the creativity. All of our thoughts and ideas come from them, and there is so much of it. So don't ever think that you are done, because you're not. I have to keep it cute because this is 27 minutes long. Okay, so then I also wrote, there's always one action you can take for your creativity daily. That's also something that I've been trying to get better at. Okay, so it says, no one is asking you to leap. That's just drama. And for the purpose of a creative recovery, drama belongs on the page or on the canvas or in the clay or in acting class or in the act of creativity, however small. Then I also wrote, as a rule of thumb, the odds are we used to procrastinate about doing what comes next. This is our addiction to anxiety and hue of action. Gag. Then I also underlined, small actions lead us to the larger moments in our creative lives. Very true. And then I also underlined, we have found that when we fill the form, we do not often need to make large changes. Large changes occur in tiny increments. And then on the side I wrote, your life will change over time, step by step, one tiny action after another. And those were all the things that I learned from chapter 8, and that resonated with me and that I thought I should take with me. But yeah, I just want to give you guys an update on my life. So I'm not sure what was going on since the last time we talked, but this week I will be working behind stage at Philly Fashion Week. I will be doing hair, and I am so excited. I will be working with the Kia Sterling. And y'all, I am so excited. Like, I am so excited. I would have never thought 2 years ago that I would be doing the things that I'm doing. I would have never thought a couple of months ago, a year ago, in May, when I quit my job, that I would be doing the things that I would be doing. I would have never thought, like. And I also didn't tell you guys that I made it to Pinterest. This lady posted me on her Pinterest board, literally screen recorded my work from my TikTok, posted it on Pinterest, and now it's going viral on Pinterest. And so I'm a Pinterest inspo girly now, which has always been one of my dreams. I feel like everybody some people look at Pinterest as just like, you know, there's no originality. Oh my gosh, she called it Pinterest. I love Pinterest. I'm a Pinterest girly down. Like, I will always look on Pinterest for inspo. Always. And it means the most to me that you guys are looking at me for inspo. It does. It really does. It really does. Yeah, so I'm going to leave you guys tonight off with everything that I just said. I gotta go because I gotta get up early, real early, so I can do my makeup and take this out. Girl, I hope I don't have to do this every night, but if I do, hey, I'll do it. You know, this is the risk we have to take to be cunt, and I told myself I was going to be cunt this year, every day. If not every day, at least a lot of days out of the week. So yeah, I love you guys, and I hope I left you guys with something. And I just want to say thank you to Doechii. She's literally my biggest inspiration. Literally, like, I love you down, girl. I don't know you, so saying I love you is kind of crazy, but I love everything that you've given me to move forward with my life and to become the best version of myself. Like, you really are a motivation to a lot of the girlies. And yeah, I love you guys, and I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your night.